I was 17 when my mom decided a road trip would fix us. Too many late shifts had made her distant, and too many arguments had made me resentful. So she rented a car, made a playlist that mashed her Fleetwood Mac with my emo phase, and told me 5 days on the road would remind us we were family. And for a while, it worked. We laughed at dumb billboards, ate delicious barbecue in Houston, and stood by the ocean for the first time together, squinting into the salt air like we'd finally caught up with ourselves. For the first time in years, it felt easy. But the trip didn't end with the ocean. It ended on a road we weren't supposed to find. Somewhere in Texas, the GPS offered a shortcut. "Shaves off an hour," Mom said, tapping the screen. I wasn't old enough to drive, so I just nodded. The asphalt cracked, then gave up. The road turned to gravel, mesquite branches scraping the side mirrors. The sun leaned down heavy on us. 20 minutes later, Mom shut the music off. Her hands gripped the wheel. "We're fine," she muttered, but she checked the mirrors too often. Then we saw the first sign, a cattle gate with a rusted plate bolted across it. No words, just a circle with jagged edges, like a warning in a language no one spoke anymore. Then came the buildings, half a dozen, scattered in the desert. Concrete bunkers with peeling radiation stickers, a warehouse with no entry stenciled in red, and a shack with windows painted black from the inside. "What is this?" I whispered. "Government site. Or worse," Mom said, voice tight. She spun us around fast, but 10 minutes later, we were back at the same gate, same symbol, same buildings. "We looped," she whispered. We tried another turn. Same thing. The desert folding us in. And then came the sign that froze us. Mexico 18 miles. That wasn't possible. We were hours from the border. But there it stood, sun-bleached and bullet-pocked. Mom slammed the brakes. "No, this is wrong." I checked my phone. No service, just the red X. The air went still, too still. Then a cloud of dust rose in the distance. "Car," Mom said flatly. But it wasn't just a car. A black Suburban roared toward us, spotless despite the desert. It stopped so fast, dust slammed against our windshield. 4 doors opened at once. 4 men stepped out. They wore clean boots, pressed shirts, and masks black cloth stitched with white crosses. Their movements were sharp, rehearsed. They didn't look at each other, only at us. One tapped his ring against our hood. Another opened my door even though I clutched the handle. He didn't drag me out. He just stood there, waiting, smiling under the mask like I'd already agreed to something. 2 more tore through the car. They dumped out snacks, yanked wires from the dash, flipped my backpack upside down. My notebook fell, open to a doodle of a skull with flowers. One of them studied it too long. Mom raised her hands. "Please, we're lost. We'll leave." They didn't speak. The leader crouched, so his mask was level with mine. His voice came smooth, careful, almost polite. "You don't wave when the desert waves back. Do you understand?" I nodded. "Good." He straightened and whistled one sharp note. All 4 moved at once, sliding back into the SUV. Dust exploded. And then, nothing. No taillights, no sound. The road behind us was empty, like they'd never existed. Mom's hands shook on the wheel. "We're leaving." This time we didn't trust the GPS. We just drove, a direction that felt wrong but at least wasn't familiar. For nearly 2 hours, every landmark repeated itself: the same cactus with a broken arm, the same pile of tires half buried in sand, the same horizon that never got closer. Then, without warning, lights appeared. A real town. Gas stations, neon signs, people walking too fast to look at us. Civilization. Mom parked half on the curb at the first station and ran inside for help. I stayed, staring at the road we'd come from. It was dark. Not nighttime dark, something heavier. A cop came. He looked exhausted, like he'd already heard our story. Mom explained wrong road, masked men. He didn't write anything down. "You're lucky," he said. "Next time, don't take roads that don't belong to you." That was it. No report, just judgment. Like we'd broken a rule we didn't know existed. That night, in a cheap motel, Mom shoved a chair under the door handle. I stayed awake listening to the air conditioner click on and off, afraid I'd hear that whistle again. Back home, we never told the full version. We left out the masks, the ring tapping the hood, the warning about waving back. Too much, too dangerous. But I'll never forget how those men moved, like they belonged to the road, like the road belonged to them. And sometimes, on highways at night, I'll catch a black SUV in my rear view, not close enough to pass, not far enough to ignore, just pacing me, waiting, because maybe that cop was right. Some roads don't belong to us, and if you ever find one, don't wave back.